doing art and culture our whole life.
That's
It
right.
was not, and that is why I don't believe in high art and low art and something like we're saying community art. Art is art. That is where I come from.
This is Africa Hub Radio, playing the music 24/7 on your dial.
Today, coming up, we are going to be joined by none other than the legendary Dr. Marlene Leroux. She is not someone who needs much of an introduction. She is an activist, she's an arts icon, and of course, she is the CEO of the Artscape Theatre Centre. So we're going to be talking to her about the amazing work Artscape has been doing to support and uncover talent outside of the areas that normally get all the attention, hey? And of course, they've got the Suid-Oosterfees coming up and the must-see Kunstetreffers concert as part of that. Marlene, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm so excited to be on
wonderful.
Africa.
Yay!
Ek is so bly ek is by julle. Hoe's julle ran op vanaand?
Ons is so bly om vir jou hier te hê. It is such a joy. Such a joy and an honor to have you. And your
It's my
energy.
honor.
You
It
know.
is. No, it's my honor.
We are big fans, Marlene. I'm not even gonna lie. Big fans of your work.
No. It's a team. I always say it's team effort. It's how we work together and how we're going to be role models for our young people.
Absolutely. Oh, listen, and I think that is something that, you know, for those of us who know about the work that you've been doing all of these years, we know good and well that you're not just saying these things. This is not lip service. That is really who you are and what you stand for and what you've managed to really transform the Artscape Theatre Centre into. I mean, it's always been an iconic site in the city. You cannot miss it physically when you drive into the city. But then also, you know, just on the cultural landscape, right? It's such an important a place for cultural production, for celebration, and it's been a springboard for so many legends who've really come out of Cape Town and come out of South Africa as a whole. So we wanna thank you for being here. We want to thank you for your work, and just to say yes, we're very, very excited to be having this conversation with you. So I know we're going to be talking about the Suid-Oosterfees. We're going to be talking about the Kunstetreffers concert and the work that you've been doing in Mamre in particular. But we were talking before you joined the line. Here in the studio, we were discussing how, because, you know, it's Freedom Day week, or this weekend it will be Freedom Day.
Yeah.
And I always say when it comes to this time of year, because
Yes.
I was a child when the transition happened. And so I remember...
I was the activist.
Yes, yes, you were. But, you know, I remember the before times, hey? I remember it obviously from the perspective of a little person. So I'm watching this, you know, with big eyes and like, oh my gosh, what is going on? But I remember the days when this theater was the Nico Milan Theater. And just being very aware, even as a child, that this was not a space that we were fully welcome in, and that we were celebrated in. Certainly that wasn't a thing. You know, it was very clear, like you just felt, okay, this is not for us. You know, something at this scale, something at this level has not been designed for us. But now, of course, there's a whole different context to the Artscape Theatre Centre. And I want to know from you, that transformation of Artscape over the years, what has it meant to you? What is your perspective on what it's really been about?
I think the question that you ask me about Artscape is basically our life as South Africa, and globally it's also about that. It is about the belonging of who are we. And my childhood actually helped me to shape who I am. And secondly, because I'm a proud woman with a disability. But where I am now, it is not about me. It is about how so many people have actually paved the way for us to have, and we must never become complacent. We must never say we have arrived, I think it's very important to state that I was always, even from very young, I come from a cultural background and from a rural background and from the minstrels. Yes,
Oh, I
I
didn't know that.
was one, and that's what people doesn't know about me. They see me as Artscape. I had a life before Artscape, and I was that young little girl in front of the minstrels singing the songs of the minstrels. And and that is so important that you don't everything of everyone. So I want to share it with the listeners is that because I was a church singer, I was a musician, I was with the minstrels, and in the heart of a party because I'm a woman of 58 years old and I love my age because I've been around the block and we've been doing art and culture our whole life through.
That's
It
right.
was not, and I that is why I don't believe in high arts and low arts and something like we're saying is community arts. Arts is art. That is where I come from because in the apartheid era we could never go to the Nico Milan. So what we have done without props, without lights, without anything, we had operators
Yes.
from the school side. We never had music as a subject or anything. And that is where we come from. We had ballroom classes. We had where we needed to do our own costumes. There's an auntie om die draai wat die costumes maak vir die minstrels. Ons was daar. So actually, I'm not saying that those things have prepared me for so many things. Is that at Artscape you press a button and there's a light. I'm used to produce with absolutely nothing.
Wow.
So it is you take yourself and you look at, and if somebody is listening and saying to themselves that they can't take on an elephant, it's too big. You must never say that to yourself. You take it bit by bit because you perhaps have gained experience which people don't realize you have because it was not recognized in a time when it was not valuable. And that is why I don't get phased because there's buttons to press. And when I started at Artscape, I already was teaching. I taught at Manenberg. I was in the Eastern Cape. So I traveled around and I was also the head of the Reconstruction and Development Program. I think people forget about that.
Yeah,
that was just before the RDP. You can ask me. We must have a chat next time about where we are now and what happened in between. That's another chat because I can tell you. And then I was in the Unionists as well. So I come a long way. But one of the major things that I realized from a very small age, art is a unifying factor.
Absolutely.
And it's also a factor where you can tell untold stories.
Yes.
100%. To be a woman of color and to live in a segregated area has also taught us because our neighbors were Muslim. At the back, we had different denominations. So on a Sunday, I just want to say, everybody will either have that radio on a Judy Boucher or it's on a different on a different station of RSG of daar is 'n ander gospel liedjie wat speel of die koens ek is van die skiem my girl so of die koens begin practice man verstaan jy so that is what it was so I am used to that thinking out of the box but I realize also that one of the things when I've entered the education and obviously my biggest claim to fame was I was part of University of the Western Cape. I was said no to be at the University of Cape Town and I said thank the Lord they said no to me.
Oh wow.
When I came for my audition to be an opera singer they said what are they going to do with a disabled opera singer? The second thing was that that time you needed to have a special permit. My mother was an ordinary farm picker so she didn't know that you need to have a permit. And then the third thing we thought automatically I will get a bursary. That was not it. So when the professor saw us, and I don't know, since my late called it Titi, she hired a taxi. And that taxi was also paid by the community because it's the first time that one of us are going to the university. So when we got there at UCT, it was the most unfriendly part. And when they said no to me, it was my whole world crumbled. This is the odds. But my mother didn't give up. She said to me, I won't tell over radio what she told the professor, but you can just imagine. Sy kan mos maar nou net dink wat daar gesê was, né? And she said to me, pull yourself together. And she said to the taxi driver, you idle. She phoned, I don't know how she got somebody, and it was one of the cleaning staff at UWC.
Wow.
And we went. So the story why I'm telling you the story, it is sometimes somebody that you don't know and that you think that has a lower position. That is the person sometimes that's going to open doors for you. So that's my karma in life, that I am there to serve other people. Because when we got there, people were waiting for me. I was accepted at UWC, and that changed my entire life. And now you can understand, I was one of so many in 85, 86 that fought for a new South Africa that is non-sexism, non-racism, that we need to look at unifying factors, that we need to accept, and that the doors, I want to say it very clearly, the doors of equal education and the doors of a Nico Milan must be open to us also. So I took it literally. So every teaching post, I didn't accept a teaching post in the Model C schools. I went to the most remote teaching posts. When no one wanted to go, I was there. You asked me about Manenberg and the Hawker. And if there's children listening to me today, they know I used to go into that Hawker to get my music children out of there, my choir children out of there. And I will wait for them. Then I will say, trek jou laaste skyf, ek wag vir jou. So you need to be streetwise.
Absolutely.
You need to be, and I treated those children's parents, although they were gangsters, with dignity. Because
really
no child has asked who their parents should be. But I have respect for a parent that brings their children to acquire practice when I can only practice when all the gangsters are calm on a Sunday afternoon to Manenberg at the school hall. Then I'm alone. So all that I want to say to you is that you need to put in and then you will get out. So, and that is, it's life.
Absolutely.
And you can't expect that things will work if you, and I still have that mantra, if you don't respect the cleaning staff, I call them the executive people of us, if you don't respect the cleaning executive and the security executive, how are you going to respect anybody else? Because they make that building clean for everybody to feel comfortable and feel welcome.
And I think
and
also,
the security for you to come in and feel safe.
Absolutely.
And that's the experience that is what it's about.
Absolutely, because the core principle really is about human dignity and not being selective about who we think deserves respect, deserves dignity, and even deserves a place on a stage as fancy and as prominent as the ones at the theater. So this, from what you're saying and as you're telling your story, I'm realizing that this is obviously the ethos and the background that has informed the vision behind the Kunstetreffers concert. Am I right? Because this is...
Yes, that is totally this.
It's a part of the Suidoesterfees, the larger program. But from what I understand, it's about showcasing talents and communities that, you've gone and done some outreach into rural areas, and you've really gone and made sure that people who may not necessarily always have had access, to being able to perform at Artscape are getting a platform through this vehicle of this concert. Can you tell us a bit more about it? And just what can people expect from the Kunstetreffers concert at the Zetwesterfees?
I think I first want to start by saying is that if you have denied access to anything, you will always feel uncomfortable, even if you have a name change, because that is actually more tokenism. It's just a change. You need to show people an effort. You need to go to people. You need to make yourself small in order for people to say, I will come.
Yes.
So when I started at Artscape, is that it was about how do I make, because it's the first time when I started that was my mother entering that building, and she was standing in a corner. I will never forget that. And I said to myself, this will never happen to anyone, not under my watch. Even if I must walk this polio leg of mine 110 times more, I will do that. So what I've decided, and I think it was a blessing because in a way, because I was very much into the cultural world with various communities on looking at affirming Khoi and the San. I was on the CRL Commission, the first in President Thabo Mbeki's days. And that was part of our 27th sunset clauses, the chapter 9s. So we were the last CRL commission that started up. So of the 9 commission, chapter 9s, I was part of it. So I was the youngest. So it was a listening campaign. And then I realized we need to take Artscape to the people. We need to take the theatre to the people. I then I had a meeting with all the staff, and everybody think this was just madness of this woman that walks with a limp. And, I sing the whole gesange en alles met die minstrels. En hele gang vol. So you must also remember I was not accepted immediately. It took time.
I can imagine.
And I said so I took the best lighting designers, Fahim Baradin. I took the best sound, and I tell them, you're not going to have a switch to switch on. You need to build a stage. Because the concept is that we're going to go to the rural areas not to play or to sing in the town halls which are equipped for white people previously. We're going to play where the people can walk and experience the arts without having a car. That is the concept. So people didn't understand it in the beginning. So what I did is that we'll go to the municipalities. I will say that we are the circus coming. You don't need to pay anything. I will look at your CSI. All that I want in the most poor of your municipality, I need a piece of ground, or even if it's a dilapidated school, in order for us to build a stage, to rig lights. And that is how it started. And then I brought the ballet out, the opera, and then I would audition in that particular community's local artists. And then I will produce with the team a production called Kunstetreffers for the entire communities. And then I would work with the RCV4, Afrikaanse Kultuurvereniging, Christelike Vereniging. I would work with all the cultural communities. I will work with the police. I will work with all the political parties, because I will have them around me and I will tell them, this is not to show off who is the main political party. We get to show for once that we have one vision, is that everyone is going to watch a production, the power of a production to make audiences experience the sameness, irrespective of color, irrespective of language, irrespective of geographical background. And you know what? A place like Saron, who is not even on the map of the Western Cape, is next to Gouda. Nearly 4,000 people came to watch.
Wow.
And the backdrop was the mountains.
Oh
And
my
we build
goodness.
a stage because there is no school hall. There is nothing.
Mm.
But I wanted to play there because that is a place where farm workers stay. And
Mm.
and the seasonal workers.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept is that we need to give hope in action to
Mm.
every single person because of the 27th of April.
Absolutely.
And we don't need to be in the newspapers. Remember, no one bought into us. We were before, I started this concept before the Kaka and Ka started.
Mm.
But we didn't get the newspapers to buy in because it's not kosher. Because we play to the snot nurses. We play to the ones that has dirty hands. We give them the best. I took the orchestra out. We were in Bredasdorp. We were in Glen William. We were in Saron, Wellington, Paarl. We were in Ceres. Ceres is still coming. And what we do then, we give them totally the best. Because if you want young people and people to aspire, you give them absolutely the best.
Wow.
So what are we doing with Worcester Festival?
Yes.
I took from every little dorpie of over the years.
Yeah.
And I'm producing a show of Kunstetreffers to show people that is coming on the 2nd of May.
Yes.
And we did this also in Mamre. And we put artists from the Mamre in Atlantis on stage alongside, as I'm saying, with artists from, we had the ballet, we had the orchestra, and we had Unmute, who is a disability company for professional dancers. We had Janelle Spielman and the people from Mamre and Atlantis, Nikita Scott, Regan Arendse, Avulele Ludukaka, and the rapper, a brilliant rapper, Nasifa Diedrich. Oh my word. She is just absolutely amazing. And the Pella Christmas Band.
Wow.
We then formed, and the Smile Band and the Hip Hop TDC.
Wow.
We emerged them. And we made that particular school hall, the Mamre Primary School, in a mini artscape. We extended that particular stage. And we had the jazz musician that came from Cape Town in order for everybody to feel. But then we partnered with Live and Lead, who's an NGO.
Yes.
Who's an NGO based in Mamre, founded by persons. Michael September is the chairperson. Paul Arendse, who is the secretary. Both of them are cerebral palsy.
Oh.
And then we have Daneline Swartz, who's deaf, hearing impaired. And they have found Live and Lead, and they're busy to fundraise for a multi-purpose center that can serve that community and an accessible center for persons with disability to be in dignity.
Yes.
To be getting the service that they deserve, but also for the entire community, because my other work that I do is to mainstream persons with disabilities, that they are part of our communities and not been locked up in their homes. They need to be part of our society, and that is what the 27th of April is about.
Absolutely.
So at Worcester Festival, we are going to show a documentary. How did we engage with the Mamre community? Yasid Kamaldeen with myself, we did a documentary since when we started to put it together. We are interviewing the founders of Live and Lead, the artists. Also, what is and I want your listeners and young people to come to it.
Yes.
Because we're telling you the behind the scenes, how to become a technical expert, how to become a lighting designer, how to become a sound technician, how to build a stage, how to be part of marketing so that people can know it. You don't need to be a singer only to be part of the theater. There are other jobs that is in the theater.
There's
so
a
the
whole
documentary
creative economy.
Totally. It's an ecosystem of creative industry anniversary. So that is in the documentary.
Okay.
That is in the Isibaya from the 30th of April
Okay.
to the 4th of May, every evening, 8 o'clock. But on the 2nd of May,
Yes.
the 2nd of May, everything is free in the Theatre Well
Uh-huh.
of Artscape.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a screening of the documentary. And then at 8:30, Kunstetreffers, who will feature
Uh-huh.
artists from our different communities that we have traveled with.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the Pacific Brass Band that comes from the Minstrels in Wellington.
Nice.
And they have traveled with me to Toulouse in France and in Brussels.
Mm-hmm.
They played there already. And they played for that time he was still the Prince Charles, and the Prince Charles asked them, "Do you have a CD?" And that time we didn't have a CD when we played for him. So they traveled because we had a music program in Wellington. And we also have Nikita Scott, who's wheelchair bound, but she's a brilliant singer who's going to be part of the production. We have Linnell Kennett. We have the Delft Band members under Ian Smith directors. And you know how good Ian Smith is.
Yes.
He trained the Wellington Band and he also trained the Delft Band.
Okay.
And they will perform. And also Disu Plaatjes, which is important to state this. So Disu, what people hardly know that during the apartheid era,
Yes.
the Xhosa language and the Khoi San, we were one.
Yes.
And the apartheid era actually separated us.
Yes.
So what we do with this concert, very deliberately, so what we do with this concert, we show the different instruments that are used in the different cultural backgrounds so that people can see there's no difference in the instruments. Yes. So this is always part of our program. And we have Marlon Soutman that is now traveling the world from Saron. That time has been part of the Saron outreach program, and he's from Saron, is now performing part at Artscape Theatre.
Wow.
So for us is to showcase and to give these not rural artists, I want to say we need to move away from the high and the low artists. As to say the message for me is that when people get the opportunity,
yes,
they must get the resources.
Yep.
Doors must be opened for them.
Yep.
And they must be given the best in order for them that the stages of the artscape needs to be open. And this is what we want to showcase with Kunstetreffers on the 2nd of May at 8:30. See magic.
Oh, wow. Marlene, you know, just listening to you, we can hear the passion. We can hear the commitment. You are not just talking. This is a journey that you have walked. And I mean, those of us who are in Cape Town and who know you, we know just what a powerhouse you are and how much you've done, you know, for the arts, for the community. Anytime that I've been to a show at Artscape, you know, and you'll come on stage and you do the intro, it's just so palpable that you've got such a deep understanding of why it matters that we create these spaces for the kind of expression and the kind of healing and unity that we can get really only through the arts, right? There really isn't another way that I can think of that a lot of these things are achieved, especially in a society like ours, where there is so much work that we have to do on making our freedom real, you know, on bringing dignity, as you say, to those who maybe didn't always have it. So we just want to thank you again for being on the show and for speaking so passionately and so eloquently about the work that you are doing. I just want to recap for the listeners. On the 2nd of May, as part of the Suidoosterfees, there is going to be a special screening of the documentary film Lief en Leed, which is about the work that the Artscape Theatre has been doing in Mamre with this organization, Lief en Leed, which is working to empower people with disabilities to find careers and so forth in the arts. And so you can catch that screening on the 2nd of May for free at 7 p.m. at the Artscape Theatre. And following that will be the Kunstetreffers concert, which is featuring some of the names that you heard Marlene mention. Janelle Spielman, she's a favorite of mine. I know her from her days at UCT. Ian Smith, Linnell Kennard, Shane Hugo, Dizu Plaikis, Cape Town City Ballet. Listen, it's a whole extravaganza, and that's taking place at the Opera House at 8:30 on the 2nd of May. Marlene, am I correct that on that particular day, these events are free, so anybody can attend, and all they have to do is RSVP?
Yes, they must just,
Mm-hmm.
You must RSVP or phone our box office. The Kunstetreffers, which is in the theatre,
Mm-hmm.
it is 100 Rand, and it will go also to proceeds goes to Lief en Leed.
Nice.
And if listeners are really interested, I've given through the details of Lief en Leed also
Yes.
to the producer.
That's right.
And I also just want to say is that Artscape is more than just the arts.
Yes.
Is to come and meet somebody else. And I want to end off by saying is that make an effort to meet somebody else from a different background, so that we can start to walk the path that we are fought so deeply for,
Yep.
that the 27th of April happen, but that we not be a divided nation.
Absolutely.
And let us shed our egos, let us shed who we are, and let us start to be servant leaders. And I really hope I ask everybody that is listening is that everybody's life matters. I am just so privileged to have this job and the support in order for me what I can do now. I can do it, but I can't do it without the people and their support.
Oh, amen. Amen. Thank you, Marlene. What a joy to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
I cannot wait to see you next week.
Lekker julle man.
Baie lekker.
Lekker julle man,
I will be
lekker
there.
kap aan, hè. Kap lekker aan.
Baie dankie, Marlene. And yes, we will chat soon.
Sien julle,
And
né?
we'll see you soon. Okay. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 This is Africa Radio, playing the music 24/7 on your dial.